of that session, I need to be kind of in a place where I know exactly what comes next. So usually I stop in the middle of a paragraph where I know exactly what I need to do next, and I put that thing in brackets, and then I stop. So that when I sit down at 8 a.m. or a little early, but then when I start at 8 a.m. the next day, there's no like, I read what's in the brackets, and I left off kind of in mid-thought, and I can just pick right up with where I was before. And there's no kind of like waste of half an hour trying to figure out what to do next. So it is true, right? Sometimes they're more stressful than others, and some days it might be half an hour, or some days I come in and I'm like, I am not ready for class, and so I'm working on that first thing in the morning. I try not to let the day end without at least opening whatever ongoing project I have going, and at least rereading what I did the day before. And sometimes that's just what writing looks like for that day, rereading or going back to a source or something like that.
If I can just briefly build on what you talked about with the warning, Christian scholars really live in overlapping worlds in some ways. So in the one sense, you feel the scholarly calling, which you might feel if you're a believer who teaches English at a state university, or who teaches history or psychology or whatever the case might be. And then in a context like this, there's also the more, if I can use this language, ministerial calling specifically to build up the church. And both of these things honor God. Scholarship in general done to His glory, scholarship specifically for the church to build up the church. An unintended negative consequence of that, though, is a lot of Christian scholars feel this double pressure when it comes to publishing, right? You're trying to wear both of these hats, and you're trying to contribute to your field, whatever that is, but you've also always got this eye on serving the church and building up the church. And so one of the things that I've tried to remind myself about whenever I feel that temptation to take on more than I should, knowing that's going to negatively affect family, church commitments, or whatever, is the same thing that I think